Welcome to today's class. In today's online class, we are going to continue with the topic functions in C. So in today's class, we are going to learn about two ways of writing a C program function. Okay, so how do you write a function call in two ways we are going to be learning. So there are two ways of writing, call by value and call by reference. So call by value and call by reference are the two ways of writing a C function call. Now before going to these actual methods, we shall see two terms which are used very often. Number one is actual parameter and number two is formal parameter. So we know parameters, in other words, are actually arguments. So parameters are nothing but also I would call them the inputs which are given into the function. So the inputs which are passed on to the function are called as parameters. Okay. So actual parameters are those parameters which are used in the function call. So when we write the function call statement, in that line what are written are called as actual parameters. And what are formal parameters? The parameters which are written in the function definition line are called as formal parameters. Okay, we'll see this with an example so that you understand this better. Now this is an example program to find the cube of a number. Now in this line, you see this line is the function prototype, also called as the function declaration. So over here what you find is called as an or a formal parameter. So this long x is nothing but a formal parameter. So the parameter which is present in the function declaration is termed as formal parameter. Now this parameter, what you see over here, okay, this parameter is the actual parameter. Okay, so I would say this one over here is the actual parameter input. So when this input is taken over here as a value from the user and then it is put in this function call, this parameter is termed as the actual parameter. So there are two types of parameters, formal parameter, which is this one, which is present in the function declaration, and the one which is present in the function call is termed as the actual parameter. Okay. Now this is it about the examples. Let us go back to the main slide. Now over here, as you see, I have put down as the formal parameters are those parameters which are present in the function definition. So which is a function definition? Function definition is this line basically. So this also is a formal parameter. This, which is a function declaration, is also a formal parameter, and this one is also a formal parameter. Alright, so do not get confused between formal parameters and actual parameters. Now you have to remember three things, okay, most important things. We will see this with an example so that you understand better. The method one, which is call by value. Whenever we say call by value method, the value of the variable is passed to the function as parameter. So when I say value of the variable, which means suppose that the variable has a value of say 5, that value 5 is passed as parameter. So that's the meaning of call by value. Okay. Now the value of the actual parameter cannot be modified by formal parameter. You have to remember that the actual parameter value cannot be modified by the formal parameter. And the third thing which you have to remember is that a different memory is allocated for both actual and formal parameters. So when we say formal parameters, they are stored at different memory location, and when we say the formal parameters, they are stored at a different memory location. So there are separate memory locations which are assigned for both of these parameters. Okay, we'll see this with an example so that you understand better. Now this is one sample program to show you all what is call by value. So let us go to the first line. Now we write the header file first, then this is the function declaration. Suppose we have a function called swap. Okay, let us write one example program to swap two numbers. So suppose you have a number which is stored in variable A and say another number which is stored in variable B. How do we swap them? So basically we have to swap the values of the two variables. Okay, so this program we are going to be writing by using the method call by value. Okay, so far we have written the function declaration. Now let us go on to the main function. This is how the main function would look like, where you have two variables declared, variable m and variable n. Variable m takes a value of 22 and variable n takes a value of 44. Now a printf statement which prints the values of these two variables. So I'm putting a printf statement saying values before swapping. So these are the values. Now this is my function call. So what is the format of writing a function call? Obviously the function name comes, and inside the parenthesis you would write the parameters. Okay, so these parameters are called as the actual parameters. Okay, and these parameters will be termed as formal parameters. So far we have written the main function where the function swap is being called. Now let us write the swap function's body. So this is the function definition and this is the actual function body which is written over here. This is how the swapping would take place. So for swapping, you all know we require a third variable. So let's call that variable as temp, T-E-M-P, and first we assign the value of A into temp, then we store the value of B into A, then we store the value of temp into B. This is how we will be able to swap the two variable values A and B. Alright, now so after swapping we'll have to print the values, obviously, so that the user understands after swapping whether the values are correctly swapped or not. So you see, the function swap is not returning any value to the main function. The reason is that we are doing the printing over here itself, so we don't need to actually pass any values since we have printed over here itself, and hence the return type of this function is void. It is not returning any value to the main function because main function is actually calling this function swap. Okay, so hence it has a return type of voids because it does not return any value to the main function. Now let us go on to see more about this program. This is formal parameters, as I have mentioned. Let us label, this is also called as function prototype, another term, and this is labeled as the actual parameters. Now what will be the output if we print the output? This should be the output. Initial values of m and n will be 22 and 44. After swapping, m will take a value of 44 and n will take a value of 22. Now in call by value, you have to remember that the formal parameters which you see over here, these and these actual parameters, okay, actual and formal parameters both, are stored in separate memory locations. So these variables and these variables, or parameters rather, are stored in separate memory locations. Okay, so whenever we do the swapping, what happens is that the values of m and n are passed to that function, and at this location those values are stored. So this, suppose say m takes a value of 22, m22 will be stored over here, and this n which takes a value of 44 will be stored in this position, in this place, in this parameter rather. So those values will be swapped and then finally printed. You get a correct output, no doubt. It is not a wrong method, but this method is bypassing the values. Okay, so this was it about call by value. Now let us just run through everything. I will just erase all the ink and tell you the order of execution. So the first line which will be executed is the header file. After that, the function prototype will be then executed. So the compiler knows that there is a function called swap, which takes two parameters, which are formal parameters. One is A and one is B. The return type of this function is void, which means the function does not return anything. Now, next line which will be executed is the main function. So the body of the main function will be executed. So first line in the body of the main function is this, where you are declaring two variables m and n and initializing them with some values. After that, the printf statement, which is printing the values of the two variables before swapping, is executed, and you get this as output. After that, a function call is executed. So function call is made to the function swap. So basically the function swap is being called over here, and this value 22 and 44 are passed to that function. So after this, the function body will be executed. 44 will be taken at this place in this variable B, and 22 will be taken over here into this variable A, or I would call it as parameter. After that, these lines are executed where the actual swapping of the two variables A and B happens, and in the final this line will get executed where the two swapped values are being printed. So after that, in the output you will get this line, and that is it. The control actually will go back over here and main function will be ended. That's it. That's how the order of execution of this program happens. Now let us move on to the next type of call, method of call, which is call by reference. So in this you have to remember that the value of the variable is not passed to the function. What I mean by value is, suppose say 44, 22. Actual 44 value or 22 value is not passed, rather the address of the variable is passed. Okay, now we'll see what is address. Address is nothing but the memory location, the memory address. When I say address, it's the address in the memory that is passed to the function. Okay, now remember also that same memory is used for both actual and formal parameters. So inside in the memory, same location is being used for actual parameters and formal parameters. So which means only one address is used for both. Okay, we shall see this with an example. Now here is an example program for call by reference. Let us run through the program. The first line is the header file. The second line you see is the function prototype. I have used the same example of swapping of two numbers, only thing the method used is different. So the method used is call by reference. So you see over here the way the function prototype is written is very different. What you see over here is an asterisk. These are called as pointers. So when we write the method of call by reference, we have to use pointers. So these are nothing but pointer variables. Okay. So after this we shall go to the main function. Now here we have to initialize the two variables, declare and initialize. After that the printing of this line happens where the original values of m and n are printed. So those are the values before swapping. So m is having a value of 22 and n is having a value of 44. So this line will get printed onto the screen. After that what you see is the function call. Now the function call over here you see is written in a very different way. We do not write the normally in that as in the previous method. What we wrote was this manner. We wrote m comma n in the function call and the function name was swap. Okay, I'm sorry about the handwriting because of the pointer, it's difficult to write. So this is the function swap and m and n were the two parameters. So these parameters were the actual parameters which were passed. Now over here you see differently the parameters are written. So what is written is an ampersand and m. This means that we are actually passing the address of that variable. So the address of the variable m is passed to the function swap and not the actual value. If I had written m, then I would be passing the value to that function swap. If I write ampersand m, which means that the address of the variable is passed to that function. Okay, so address of both the m and the n variables are passed to the function swap and then we go on to writing the swap function. So the definition of the swap function is in this manner. Now you see over here, since the address is passed, we need to write the pointer variables, because pointer variables actually are used to point to that memory location. We cannot be writing over here normal variables. We have to write pointer variables because pointer variables are used to point to that memory location. So these variables, pointer variables A will point to this memory location, okay, and this pointer variable will point to this memory location. What I mean by that is that I will clear all the ink so that it is clear and easy to understand. Suppose say we have two variables I have mentioned over here in this example over here, the two variables 22 and 44, okay, which is basically m and n, okay, which is having value of 22 and 44 are suppose having an address, memory address of 2000 and 2002. So m's address is 2000 and n's address is 2002, okay. So when I say this happens, which means this pointer variable A points to this memory location, and when this pointer variable is returned, that time this points to this memory location, which is 2002 and this one is 2000. Alright, so pointer variables basically are used for this purpose of pointing to the necessary address in the memory, okay. So how do we go about with the swapping? We require a third variable to swap, okay. Let's name it as temp, same like how we have gone ahead with the previous program. Only thing over here right now, again, we cannot be using variables, we have to rather use pointer variables because we are dealing with addresses. Okay, so we have to write pointer variables, and that's it. While printing also we have to write the pointer variables for printing the swapped values. Okay, so this was it. After swapping we will get the new swapped values. Alright, now as I have mentioned in the previous slide that the two types of parameters, okay, formal parameters and the actual parameters, both, okay, what you see, these two parameters basically are stored in the same memory location. So how does the swapping happens? So when we say swap, actually what we are doing is we are swapping these memory locations. So this comes over here and this comes over here. And when we swap the memory locations, we actually swap also the values. So 22 comes over here and 42 comes over here. So when memory locations are swapped with each other, that's when even the values present in those memory locations are swapped. Okay, so this is how we would swap by reference. So which means this is the call by reference method where we are using memory locations, okay, or the addresses, memory addresses to swap. So we are basically swapping the addresses. So we need to pass addresses in this manner to do the necessary swapping. So these are the two methods of swapping. Let's go on to the next slide. Now to summarize with the functions topic, whenever we write functions, okay, functions can be returned basically in four ways. Okay, there are four categories, I would say, of function. Number one category is C functions with arguments, also called as parameters, and with a return value. So example of this is here, something like this way. There is a return value, a return type, and a parameter. So this is how we would write the function declaration, this is how we would write a function call, and in the function definition this is how we would go about. The second category of functions is functions with arguments but no return value. So example of that is over here. You see there is no return value, hence it is void, and there are some parameters. Okay, it can be one parameter, can be multiple parameters. So this is how you would write the function declaration, this is how you would write the function call, and this is how you would write the function definition. The third category is a C function which has no arguments and no return values. Like for example, this is an example mentioned, no return type, which means it is void, and it has no parameters also. So this is how you would write function declaration, an empty parenthesis, empty round brackets. Similarly, function call also will be empty, and the function definition also will be having an empty parenthesis. Okay, so this is how you would write in the third case. And the fourth category of functions is functions without arguments and with a return value. For example, you have int is the return type, so there is some value to be returned by that function, but no parameters, empty parenthesis. Similarly, this is how you would write the function call, and this is how you would write the function definition in this fourth type or fourth category of functions. So there are four categories. Examples of each of these I have put down onto the screen on the slide. The first category is function has both arguments also and a return value also. Second is function has arguments but no return value. Third is function has no arguments but and also has actually no return value. And last is function has no arguments but has some return value. So these are the 4 types or categories of writing functions, or 4 ways of writing functions. Now it depends which one you would want to use on the type of application you are writing or type of situation you are in. You can use either one of these. These are the 4 ways, allowed ways in C language. So that is it for today's class. Thank you very much for watching the video.